32 books later, and some of these books completely stole my heart. Some had me rooting for every single character, and then there were a few that had me side-eyeing everybody. The plot, the characters, and sometimes even the author. Today we're doing a complete Q2 reading wrap-up. I'm breaking down every single book that I finished between April and June, and I'm telling you one simple thing. Would I recommend it? Every book falls in one of these three categories. Yes, maybe, or absolutely not. And trust me, there are a couple opinions that might surprise you. But before we get into it, hello, I'm Ronnie, and this is R&R the Serial Reader. And over here, we read books. If that's your thing, stick around. Now let's see what books earned a permanent spot on my shelves and which books had me saying, hell to the nah. I want to start with the disappointments because I like ending on a high note. Saint 2 and Saint 2 the finale from the Soul Tie series by Miss Candace. This one was frustrating because one, I thoroughly enjoyed book 1 of the series. But in book 2, Saint kept giving what Naoki needed emotionally, only to immediately pull away. It became this endless cycle of getting close, then running away from his feelings. I got tired of watching two adults acting like they weren't in love. And on top of that, I thought we had wrapped up Jahad's and Sienna's storyline from book 1. Instead, we kept revisiting the storyline of Jahad and Saint's father. For me, that storyline overstayed its welcome. So these two were a no for me. Southern Belle, book 1 from the duet Southern Belle by Diamond D. Johnson. This had absolutely nothing to do with the author's writing. It's completely about the characters. Zaccardi was the most disgusting husband I've ever read about. And then we had Ruby Ray. She was young, she was naive, she was raised with traditional Southern values, and everyone around her manipulated her. Watching what she had to endure completely broke my heart. The children and Ruby, they deserved way better. Honestly, I couldn't enjoy the reading experience because I spent most of the time angry. So this one is also a no for me. In the Gray by B.B. Reed. For me, this book focused far more on the sexual tension than the development of the story. Rowdy drove me insane. One minute he was nice, and the next minute he was a freaking a-hole. He was cruel for absolutely no reason. That constant emotional whiplash just became so exhausting. Towards the end, we started to get the reveal of all these secrets, which made it more interesting. But for me, it was a little too late, so it was a no for me. Lyric book 2 from the Eisenberg Effect series by Gray Huffington. So Keanu and Lyric really stressed me out. I would say Lyric more so was the one that stressed me out. Most of the drama could have been solved if just one honest conversation was had. You're grown. Tell your brothers who you're dating. Why make this whole drawn out thing? The unnecessary drama for me just made the storyline drag, and so this one was an easy no. Put It on the Mob, book 1 of the Put It on the Mob series by new to me author Lisa Austin. This is a mafia romance where the Cupaccio family merges with the powerful Rinaldi family. And so how do they do this, you ask? They do this with a newly found sister, Jessie I, and the last man standing in the family, Ezio. Through this arranged marriage, I did not connect with the characters. Enzio was addicted to pills, which got on my goddamn nerves. And on top of that, he wasn't stepping up with Jessie I the way he had to. It was Don, the head of the Cupaccio family, Jessie I's brother, that kept stepping to him like, man, handle your BI. And then Jessie I had this other background story where she was living this lavish life now that she is a part of her family, the Cupaccio, but she was still focused on the past of the man that she thought was her father. Just didn't jive with it, and so this one is a no for me as well. Let's get into the books that that almost got there. Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is definitely one I'd recommend if someone specifically asked me for a YA. Did I want to know what happened to Monday? Absolutely. But YA isn't my preferred genre. It tends not to give me the intensity that I'm looking for in a story. So while I do appreciate what Tiffany D. Jackson accomplished, it's not one that I would naturally recommend. Need You By Me by India Carter. The church drama, excellent. Jamie being the black sheep, excellent. The father caring more about appearances than protecting his daughter, heartbreaking. But the relationship between Jamie and Deacon Marshall, yeah, you heard right. Deacon. It kind of gave me the ick. It is an age gap romance. Jamie may have been 20, 21, and Marshall may have been in his anywhere between 35 and 40. And it's not even the age difference that gave me the ick. It was more so you can see the immaturity in Jamie. She did young girl things and it annoyed me. So I'm stuck in the maybe territory for this one. Let me roll my sleeves up for this one. Oh, I don't have any sleeves. Heart of a Goon by Jacquel J. Zoya. Girl, your attitude? Goon was trying. She wasn't. But when she wanted protection, she surely knew how to call on him. Here's the thing we all know. It's a part of the whole Delgado U-verse. And in this book, you do have several secrets that are revealed. So I don't recommend you skipping it, especially because it ends on a cliffhanger. But if someone were to ask me which one of these books I recommend, this would not be at the top of the list. The Wondrous Life and Loves of Nella Carter by Briony Naswa. I talked about this book a little bit in my previous book haul. Such a fascinating premise. A woman bargains with death and then lives for centuries, falling in love over and over again. The problem? All the relationships ended the same way. It started to become mundane for me. What I did love was death. Death almost became a character, which was very shocking to me, that was capable of feelings. That was really unique. Hoodwink, book 1 in the Moon Run series by Desiree, aka Granger. This one started so strong. Urban fantasy, Atlanta, witches, werewolves, black magic, family secrets. I was all in. Then, too many characters, too many storylines. Some of the characters were volatile and vengeful. Not to mention the pacing of the book was very slow. Or maybe the 433 pages of chaos was just too much for me. And so, at some point, I lost interest. Loving a Philly Boss, Book 2, From a Saint Loving a Savage, a Philly Love Story by P. Wise. From book 1, I expected Bliss and Neef to completely captivate me, even though Neef had 3 wives. I felt like been there, done that type of storyline with a Muslim man having multiple wives and the others are jealous of the new lady. So it really didn't capture my attention fully. Oddly enough, I became more interested in Kwan's storyline, so that alone is going to keep me going through the series. Phases, a memoir by Brandy. I really did enjoy getting a look into Brandy's life. Did I want more? Absolutely. I wanted the stories that weren't polished. Yes, she revealed a secret, but I felt that was more traumatic, and what I was looking for was scandalous. Something more along the lines of what went down between her and Mace. I don't know. I was just looking for the messy moments. If I Ruled the World by Amy DuBois Barnett. One thing this book did exceptionally, it captured the 1990s well. Not to mention, we also got to see what women dealt with in the music industry during that time. The sexism, the exploitation. My issue with this story, it was too focused on Nikki's appearance. She was a biracial woman, and so often the conversation was around the color of her skin, her hair texture, and I got tired of listening to that. I wanted more elsewhere. The ending definitely became stronger. Honestly, I think this would make a fantastic TV adaptation. All that is in mind. Book 1 from the All What Was Ours series by Chantel Davis. Another book that I introduced in my previous book haul. Alara, she deserves so much better from her husband and her in-laws. Even though she deserved better, she definitely underestimated her younger lover, which was Julian. But I think what kinda didn't let me connect with these characters is Alara's void of emotion. She was just so guarded. It was so hard for me to fully invest into their love story. Now, it's time to talk about those books that were an absolute yes. Starting with A Love Letter from a Gangster, book 3 in the Crenshaw King series by Siobhan Latrice. Believe it or not, the relationship in this book was built through prison phone calls, and somehow it still felt incredibly intimate. LaQuay, he held no punches, but the thing is, he stood 10 toes down for Scotland. And Scotland, oh my goodness, Scotland, she fought the most impossible circumstances. Together, they made me believe in every conversation. I believed in their love after lockup story. Honestly, once you get past book 1, if you weren't feeling Kahari, or some people weren't feeling Prime and what he did too. But when you get past 1 and 2, the series just gets better and better. So yes to Love Letters from a Gangster and the rest of the books that I've read, which is 4 through 7, Your Ex Ain't For Me, Kiss It Better, Feelings For You, and Save Room For Us. I absolutely love the Compton and St. Thomas family. They were a time. Watercolors by Siobhan Latrice. This might be one of the most beautifully written books I've read. But what really surprised me was the bond between Ashley and Lumi. For me, their relationship stole the show. It was their banter. It was their growth. It was their healing together. The slow build between Lumi and Wave was just right. And I'm not even a slow burn person, so you know it was done just right. And when it finally happened, ooh wee, hot like fire. Yes, but they were hot. And there were also other interesting characters in the story as well. I'm really hoping that Evelyn gives us spin-offs for the rest of them. Salvation Trilogy by Nako. Listen, if Nako writes it, I'm reading it. Flawed people, real problems, healing, ride or die loyalty. These characters are making messy decisions while trying to become better people. Everything I love, and so it's an easy yes. Gold 2 by Sarah Feeney. I'm saying yes, but at the same time, I'm yelling at every character. Gold. Girl, when are you going to learn? Rich. Bruh. Come on. Y'all need to learn how to communicate. And E. What the freaking frick? Everybody was making terrible decisions. And that ending? Now I'm right back asking the same question from the very beginning. Who is Gold going to actually end up with? The culmination of everything, book 1 in the Sugar Valley duet by Christina C. Jones. As you all know, this is everything I love about a small town romance. The nosy neighbors, the giant family, community, healing, and characters who truly feel lived in. Love this one. Beautiful Broken Love by Shanora Williams. This book was exactly what I needed. Do I think Davina could have used more time to grieve? Probably. But that's the thing. Deke took his time with her. He didn't push her. He didn't force himself on her. He just showed up consistently. And that's what I loved. The Closer by Kennedy Ryan. Kennedy Ryan did exactly what Kennedy Ryan does. Great chemistry, interesting characters, strong plot, and yes, the spice was there too. Treacherous, the Big 3. This is the special edition by Natisha Raynar. This one we have 3 brothers, endless family secrets, paternity drama, and somehow it still managed to balance all the chaos and emotional moments too. I really had fun reading the first 3 books in this series. The Slums, book 1 of the Slums series by Keturah B. This book is exactly what the author promised. Ghetto, raw, messy, but also it was very real. And last but certainly not least, Maybe for the Summer by Aubrey Penn. This is the kind of urban romance that I love. We have one of the hottest rappers and he falls for the beauty and the brains. Juju and Butterfly were adorable and hot all at the same time. Deja gave Lucci exactly what he needed. Peace, healing, and someone willing to ride with him. This one absolutely earned a yes. Thanks for hanging out with me while we sorted through the 32 books. Hopefully I helped you find your next yes and maybe saved you from a couple of no's. If you read a 5-star book lately and you think I should pick it up, let me know because clearly my TBR isn't full enough. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Happy reading. Bye guys.